Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Dante from ShopX03, right back with the co-host.
This is JC. What's up, everyone?
And we're going to get straight right into it. It's been a week since Pharrell has dropped his menswear fashion line in as creative director of Louis Vuitton, taking place of Virgil. And we saw the runway show. We saw the people that attended. We also saw the clips, Malice and Pusha T, rocking those bright colored Louis Vuitton get up. We saw Jay-Z there with his wife Beyonce. A$AP Rocky was spotted with Rihanna. But what we're here to talk about is the fashion. What was going on in that runway show. We saw the digitized camel. Everybody was saying that it looked like Minecraft. So, JC, what are your thoughts about this whole thing?
To start off, I want to say, the music, right? He had an entire live, and I don't know if that would be called orchestra or band, but the fact that it was playing live instruments, that was super sick. And then from that to switch on to Pusha T's song, and then from there to switch to the choir, I genuinely, I fucked with it. It gave it, a whole nother, aesthetic, a whole nother vibe, different genres of music, all playing differently. As for everything I saw within, the models and what they were wearing, definitely, like you said, we saw a lot of that digi camo. I don't really play Minecraft, but I guess it kind of looks like it. But definitely, it's super sick. As I was telling him earlier, I was like, real tree camo has been super popular nowadays. And, I think it's cool, that they're taking a different type of camo and putting that on there. Out of everything I saw, a lot of bags, a lot of trunks. I thought it was so sick how they were actually parading them in little golf carts.
Golf carting the trunks down the runway show.
Super sick. It was a show where I could only imagine what it felt like to be there, and the fact that he even brought out the staff to walk that runway, it's insane. Honestly, what Pharrell did, that will for sure just be, it's a whole nother caliber, 100%.
People were saying that it's going to be hard to take over Virgil's spot, which is true. But this is Pharrell, He has a history with Louis Vuitton and Marc Jacobs and Chanel and doing all these type of high-end designer things as well. And, the bags he made, the millionaires is what he calls them. The intricate designs of the alligator bag, the crocodile bag, the little details of the gold he was showing in a reel. And not only that, as everybody was saying, he was made digitized camo, but if you look closely, you could see the alligator Letterman skins, like that one you were showing me.
There was also this rugby that was it looked super shiny. I don't know if it was leather, some sort of silk, maybe just polyester, but that was easily one of the best things I saw on there. A super sick ass rugby that they put on.
Not only that, but you could also see that some of the items Pharrell put out were an ode in remembrance to some of the other pieces he wore back in the day. For example, the Princess Anne red Letterman. And then you can also see the influence of the Louis Vuitton symbol. It says LV, lovers, like Virginia is for lovers. And, that's where Pharrell's from, Star Trek all the way. So I think Pharrell did a more than excellent job kicking off Louis Vuitton with this fashion show. And like JC said, it wasn't a regular fashion show. The clips were playing while they were walking the line, So it just goes to show that Pharrell's really trying to put in the culture and mingle it with designer culture as well because of what the culture has. They both help to each other. So any more thoughts?
It's crazy for sure. I can't imagine what must have been going through Pharrell's head, kind of looking back to, obviously you started off as just a dream, right? And, he's done so much for the culture, and then for him to take over, Louis Vuitton like that, and be able to, fill in Virgil's shoes and look at what kind of performance and show he put in, that's just fucking crazy. It's almost man, what else? What, But honestly, I am excited to see more. I want to see, kind of what else he puts out. I wish I was rich enough to afford any of this stuff. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. But maybe one day we'll be able to buy some of that shit, because that varsity jacket, dude, that black one, fucking clean.
We'll put it up there for the viewers.
Yeah, we'll put up the stuff we're talking about, but My God,
A
super
lot
sick.
of crocodile skin type vibes on him.
One of the best
And-
type to be.
yeah,
like,
no.
Krog, you know.
And then not only that, but he also had a lot of, like full Louis Vuitton, the pants as well. They were kind of flarish, but not too flary. I would say they were like straight cut. Wouldn't you say?
It was more of a straight cut, definitely not as tapered as we're used to seeing in past years.
And like I said, the clothes were on point, but I love the trunks that were coming down, the different colored bags. I haven't seen Louis Vuitton put a bright yellow bag out. For a
Dude,
while.
the thing about the trunks, man, it kind of reminded me like, so trunks, that's like the old school type of way of carrying luggage, but the way they placed them and the cars, it reminded me of like the 1930s when like that's what they used and they would like drive around with those. I don't know, like that's what came to mind. If I can find a photo, like I'll show it because it really resembled that for sure.
But yeah, like I said, in conclusion, Pharrell did an excellent job. I love the clothes. I love the trunks. I love the details. I can hardly wait to see what he puts out more. Pharrell has solidified himself in fashion, in music, in pop culture in general, just overall. So we're proud of him. He is the best person to take over what was already so far put forth by Virgil. So yeah, well, on to our next topic, somewhere in lower than like the designer, but streetwear. Ian Connor, for his brand Sicko, as most of you might know. Remember the Revenge Storms, the Vans that had, what were they? The weird thing.
I mean, they're old school Vans,
They're old
but he just swapped out like the stripe
for the lightning.
to like for the lightning bolt. Yeah.
So he's doing it again. He's doing some more reference pieces. If you guys know Terry Kennedy, who was a skateboarder for the ice cream skate team, Pharrell's ice cream skate team, he used to wear an old full zip KREW, which was a skateboarding company. And Ian Connor is now referencing that for his brand Sicko Mode. It's basically the same piece that Terry Kennedy wore, but it says Sicko Mode all over that. What do you think about the reference pieces like this, JC?
I think that's really cool. For me, myself, as I mentioned before, like, I do skate, not as much as I used to when I was younger. But KREW was such a sick brand, like, back in the day. As you guys, like, that skate, you guys know, like, it has the association with, like, Supra, and it had a lot of, like, dope skaters being sponsored. And it made, like, a really quick comeback when I was in middle school, especially, like, for their hoodies, because they would say Original KREW, spelled with the K. I'll definitely have to find, because I had a hat that even said that. Their jeans were always super sick. I mean, like, you go into Zoomies and, you know, at the time they'd be like $50-$60. Obviously, you know, in middle school you can't really go buy all that stuff. But when I did have the jeans, super sick. I think they relaunched the brand recently, KREW Clothing. So for me to see like that part of skateboarding and being put now into kind of like the mainstream world, but not necessarily, you know, like fully, let's just put on like this piece from back then, like he's putting his own twist to it. Mm-hmm. That's super sick. I like that, you know. It's like, let's dig up something from the past, put a spin to it on, you know, whatever ideas he has. I definitely think it's sick. It's nostalgic for sure. I mean, early 2000s, everyone's reading the overprint stuff.
The all
KREW.
overprint, yeah.
Like, it's for sure something I consider like an OG skate brand. So, again, if it releases, whatever it is, and I can cop it, I definitely would. Like, that's super sick. I'll have to find some photos of me with KREW from back in the day.
JC, would you rather crop the OG KREW or the new Sicko Mode? I mean, the Sicko Mode. The new Sicko by Ian Connor KREW.
Dude, I'd be sick to have both. I mean, the OG KREW, that's where it came from, right? Like, that's the original
that's the
piece,
reference
that's the
piece.
inspiration,
Yeah, that's the OG,
you know?
Yeah.
And to have it, I'd be like, oh, dude, like, this is sick, right? Like, this is from back in the day. Mm-hmm. To have the new piece, which is inspiration from a clothing brand that is, you know, a skate brand, like, that's sick as fuck, too, for me, you know? So, like, I'd be happy with either one of them. Anything that supports skateboarding, for sure.
I see. Yeah, and like Ian Connor before, he's been doing these replica pieces. He did one, it was the Baby Sicko. It was a copy of the Baby Milo shirts that were having sex. The Baby Milos were having sex. Baby Lisa, Baby Milo were having sex. T-shirts from 2006, 7, 8, I believe. I did a whole video on those reference pieces. But he also is referencing an old Star Trek shirt as well, and he's just putting Sicko Track. Star Trek, as you guys know, is Pharrell's old record label from like the early 2000s. So they had a shirt that looked just like this. It said Star Trek, but now he's just referencing it and putting Sicko Track. Don't know if this is going to be a real thing he releases, but he teased it on his story. And Ian Connor is that fashion dude that likes to do this shit. So, yeah.
I mean, it's reminding me like one thing I've noticed is that a lot of brands nowadays are doing kind of like the bootlegs,
Yeah.
where like it resembles it, but it's not it. And you see that a lot with like the Louis Vuitton stuff, like the brand Versailles. You know, instead of like an LV, it's the LA, but it's got the monogram, the same font. So I feel like that's kind of where he's going, where it's kind of like this bootleg, where it's not necessarily gonna say, you know, the brand, but it's taking the inspiration.
He's definitely taking the inspiration, but I feel like he's only bootlegging niche things from the culture.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
he's only bootlegging things that of importance.
Like, unless you know about it, you're not gonna
know
care too much. Like, you're not gonna give it a second look, which is cool though. I mean, he's like, you know, nitpicking it, but like that's sick as fuck. Is the fact that like it's not just like everyday shit. It's like, let me find something that only maybe certain people are gonna know the reference to, and then he puts it out. Like, that's pretty dope, right? Like,
all right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining in to ShopX03 News. As you can see, we've got new mics. We're getting a new spot. Things are gonna get better. ShopX03 is only gonna go up. Thank you, guys. I passed 2,000 followers on Instagram. I'm at 2,167. We're gonna get the website up. We're at 147 subscribers on this channel. At 500, we get monetized. So I'm not stopping now. JC's not stopping now. We're going to go hard. Thank you guys for the support. I didn't know that in a year my YouTube channel is going to gain this much following. So appreciate it. Any last words, JC?
Nah, thank you for sticking with us so far. We're going to keep on going. Like we said, we got mics now. We're going to get the setup a lot better. And, you know, we're going to continue to bring out, you know, best quality videos we can. So stick around for that. More vlogs too. I mean, we missed out on the last sneaker convention, but summertime there's a lot more, so we'll bring a lot of stuff like that into the channel.